Hello there everyone, welcome back to a brand new Doctor Who review. Today I'm going to review The Edge of Destruction, which is the third ever serial which was released for Doctor Who. So that's very interesting. So yes, this serial has 2 episodes, which is not a lot because there is an explanation for it. Because these 2 episodes actually are like the beginning of a new story. Like every other Doctor Who follows up with a story, right? So the Unearthly Child was the first ever story, but after Unearthly Child, there was the Daleks, right? And the Daleks followed up to the Edge of Destruction, right? So it's all a continuation of the same big story. The Edge of Destruction is where the Doctor, Barbara, Ian, and Susan get stuck in the TARDIS, but they probably think someone or something has boarded the ship, and some people are acting very weird and very just different. Let's say that they're acting a bit different because they think someone is, with them. They think someone, was the one who actually, you know, um, made sure that they get stuck in the TARDIS. The TARDIS also sometimes has this little mechanical problem where it just shakes, and the people inside are like, the Doctor, Susan, Ian, and Barbara are like confused what's happening, right? They eventually solve it, but it's very interesting, right? But the first thing is they have some clues, right? At the beginning of the episode, TARDIS shakes and they all fell down to the floor, and some have like, I don't know, bad memory, forget they forgot what just happened, right? So there we go. And the Doctor, Susan, and Ian are all on the ground, but Barbara is not on the ground. She just walked out of a room. So what the hell did happen? Maybe she was asleep. Maybe something happened. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So Barbara wakes those guys up, right? And yeah, she eventually, tries to find out what's happening here. And Barbara, she's a very smart character, and I can see why the newer showrunners and the older showrunners actually took inspiration from Barbara, because she's a smart one. She's a woman. She's not the youngest one, but she is pretty smart, and obviously she's a teacher. She's a pretty smart and intelligent woman. So there we go. And so yes, Ian wakes up also very confused. So what's happening here? Why is the TARDIS shaking sometimes? And what's happening with the clocks? The clocks are disrupted or something. That's very weird. So there we go. The Doctor also finally wakes up, but he has this bad concussion on his head because he walks with like these bandages. So there we go. A different look for him, let's just say that. He inspects the machine like the TARDIS and eventually finds something interesting. Like, he sees everything is normal, but some things aren't normal. Like, the machine from the water dispenser machine says it is empty, but it is clearly not empty because there is still water coming out of it. So that's weird. So yes, the Doctor, Susan, and Ian eventually help out Susan. The Barbara, Ian, and the Doctor eventually help out Susan and lay her down on a bed, but she gets very aggressive for some reason. So what's happening, man? I was very confused too. So Susan has not been taken over because that's what I thought, but she has not. Barbara is not suspicious at all. She's the one who actually thinks clearly from all the 4 characters. Ian is confused what happened and like loses track of his mobility for some reason. I don't know. And the Doctor is very confused because he thinks Barbara and Ian set him up, and they want to go home. But yeah, very interesting. Anyway, at the end of the story, it gets all explained, and the Doctor actually says, "Wow, the TARDIS is actually on this place where there's the birth of a new galaxy. So every time, there's this little button that he normally presses to go backwards in time, but the button is stuck. So every time they're there, so they witness the birth of a galaxy, right? The button takes them back or something. I don't know, but it's like the effects of the birth of the galaxy affects the TARDIS, and that's why it shakes after a few moments, right? And that's very scientific. Like, the Doctor gives this great speech, monologue, I guess, a great talk about why the TARDIS is how the TARDIS is, and why the galaxy and the universe is made, and why. Very interesting. You could clearly see this as a family show, right? It focuses on children, but also on the parents and adults. It's very interesting. So there we go. Nothing really bad happened. So yes, but these two episodes were actually kind of filler episodes, because after this serial, there's a bigger one. Holy shit! And I was really amused because one of my fellow Doctor Who mates said, well, there's this bonus feature about Marco Polo. And this is the next serial. And Marco Polo is a one Doctor Who story that isn't really complete. One of the Doctor Who stories that isn't complete, because Marco Polo has been lost for many years. So I think that's like 5 episodes or something. But they only have like the stills, like the pictures, the photos of the first episode or something, and the audio fragments. And they don't really have the motion picture itself, like, you know, the real acting. No, they're just pictures. So I'll review that too, but that's very interesting. Like Marco Polo, it's one of those Doctor Who stories that is like, holy shit, that's really interesting, because it's been lost for so many years. Same goes for any other Doctor Who story that has been lost. Like the second Doctor has a lot of those stories, especially, yeah. And the first Doctor too. That's why they also have like a season 1 box set instead of like season 2, 3, or 4. Because they can't make it, because they don't have the episodes, which is very sad, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you later. Goodbye, everyone. Or should I say, Doctor Alonzi. Let's go.
I'm going to sing over the intro because I don't want copyright claim. Alright. Doctor Who, but it's the 60s intro.